Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health risk for October 4th, 2025. We do keep an additional set of graphics at tpatw.com. We'll start today by taking a look at the surface map, and high pressure dominates almost all of the eastern two-thirds of the country. There is one active front hanging from North Dakota, clear down into central Wyoming, and then hanging back down through the Four Corners all the way down into Arizona. There is a significant area of unsettled weather with that front, probably snow in the higher elevations. And we still do have basically onshore flow, that is the flow coming around the high and then moving back across eastern Florida with a lot of moisture, and then the coastal areas of the Gulf itself. Looking at the vitality index, which is our measure of all of the weather elements that might trigger some kind of health effect, and we can see that most of this activity is in the northern plains, in the Rockies, and up from the Four Corners. There is that touch of unsettled weather across southern Florida, especially in eastern Florida and along the Gulf. Looking at pressure, one of those particular parts of the weather that does have an impact on many people, especially migraine, we have falling pressure stretching all the way from the eastern portions of the Four Corners, New Mexico, Colorado, up into Wyoming, and then really up the plains from the Texas and Oklahoma Panhandle, across western Kansas, in and through Nebraska, eastern South Dakota, up into Wisconsin and the Michigan Upper Peninsula, picking up portions of just extreme northern Wisconsin. Looking at temperature change, another issue that can impact individuals, especially rising temperatures, and we have a little bit of that across California into Nevada. Another area of rising temperatures up here in extreme northern Wisconsin, and probably picking up the Michigan Northern Peninsula. But we have sharply falling temperatures across the Rockies and up the portions of the northern plains, all the way from Utah into Wyoming, Montana, and over to the east in the plains for the westernmost sections of Nebraska, western South Dakota, and all of North Dakota. Looking at the change in dew point or vapor and moisture availability, we can see there is an awful lot of falling dew points here in the western portions of the Four Corners. A little bit of rising dew point temperatures up here in Wyoming, up into just southern sections of Montana. But you'll notice that we do have a little bit of falling vapor pressure in the middle Mississippi Valley that we don't quite pick up when we look at the temperature differentials. Looking at POI, or our measure of the oxygen availability in the atmosphere, we can see we have an area of arthritis or asthma risk across California and picking up portions of Nevada. With that, we'll then jump into the upper plains from Nebraska, across the easternmost sections of South Dakota, picking up northern Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan Upper Peninsula, and then hanging across into New England, and then going all the way down the Appalachians from eastern Pennsylvania through western Virginia, the western Carolinas, into Georgia, and just touching Alabama. The migraine risk is basically out west, running from New Mexico and Arizona especially, up through Utah, picking up portions of Colorado, going into Wyoming, and then hitting almost all of Montana and up into North Dakota. So the western and mountain area is a significant area of migraine risk. Small area of migraine risk right about St. Louis. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, let us know where you're located.